stream button.
Okay.
Let me know when it pops up on your screen.
So far, a black screen. There we go. Okay.
You can pause it.
Pause.
So it's not like running in both directions.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there I am. Looking like a fucking meatball.
A delicious one, though.
End stream. Oh man, we're streaming already.
Ooh.
I thought I had to press the goddamn whatever. Okay, here we go. Hey everyone, here we go. Damn, everybody's going crazy.
Ooh.
Everybody's going crazy.
Flying in.
Hey, what's going on? We're taking chats, we're taking super chats, suggestions on what you guys think should be Classics Week this year. We usually do these streams annually to make decisions on what the heck we should be doing classic reviews of. So I'm here. Giggins is here.
Hey, everybody.
Giggins is actually going to do a classic review this week too.
It's true.
So it's going to be a special Classics Week. It's Giggins. You're going to be seeing more of him this year.
Woo.
He's pretty much coming on full time and all that. So you're going to be seeing more Giggins in 2025.
And now to be here.
So hopefully that sounds exciting.
Hope you guys like Giggins because he's around.
Exciting and sexy to you guys. Because you're going to be seeing more of Giggins in 2025.
Specifically in that order.
All right. Illinois by Sufjan Stevens, I feel like is a big suggestion. That's pretty much an indie classic.
That's a classic album now.
Yeah, I know it is. That album was like getting momentum when we were in college.
I know. It was huge back then.
Hold on one second. We'll put Sufjan Stevens on the board.
Yeah.
We'll definitely give heavy consideration to Sufjan. Let me see. What else are you guys suggesting?
The original
source tags and codes. I'm not as crazy about personally. I mean, it's definitely worth considering. I kind of feel like it's an album that's kind of caught on more in retrospect in the internet years, as opposed to like kind of making the kind of cultural impact upon release that I would kind of hope to be talking about and covering when I do a classic review. But I don't know. I sort of worry I wouldn't speak to it as positively as some people would want me to.
We're seeing
the Soft Bulletin by Flaming Lips could be
a good one.
A fun one.
Got Blonde on Blonde by Dylan.
Blonde on Blonde. I may have done.
It's a big album.
It's a big album. I may have. I need to keep looking through the suggestions there. So
you may have done
Giggins
that
is partially
one.
here, so I don't miss one. A big one.
Yeah. Ooh, Francis the Mute would be a really good one. Yeah.
Okay, a couple of
You
things.
can dig that one.
Not that it would necessarily rule it out, but I have done a classic review of Highway 61 Revisited.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah.
And Blonde on Blonde is it's again, it's not that it's entirely ruled out, but I feel like I have kind of done Dylan classic.
Yeah.
And I may want to wait a little longer.
Yeah.
Although it has been 9 years since my last Dylan classic review. So maybe another one. I mean, I will be saying this. I will say this. And again, keep catching any suggestions people are making so I'm not, losing track.
Absolutely.
I am going to be giving a viewing and probably talking about the new Dylan movie very soon.
That's so cool.
So you guys will be getting a fill-in of Dylan very, very soon, regardless of whether or not I talk about Blonde on Blonde. So there will be a Dylan fill-in. You will
get gob of Bob
filled in on Dylan.
That's good.
A King Crimson. I know I've done a King Crimson classic review, I think, in the past. Again, I would like to touch down on some artists that I haven't necessarily maybe done a classic review of yet. Speaking of Francis the Mute, I have done like a ranking or a worst to best on Mars Volta.
You have.
So, I mean, I have talked about that record a bit, and I have talked about that being my favorite Mars Volta album, with that being said.
It's a great record. Remain in Light, Talking Heads.
Have I done that?
You may have done
I think
that
I've done a
one.
Talking Heads worst to best.
I think you have done that. I remember you doing a thumbnail that was Talking Heads-esque.
Yeah, I did do a Talking Heads worst to best. So I've pretty much
Okay.
talked about every Talking Heads album. With that being said, Giggins is going to make sure he's going to make sure that I finish the last leg of the Pink Floyd worst to best this year.
It's this year.
It's written up. I've written it up until the wall, and
You can stop there.
we'll just sort of get the rest of it assembled from there. So again, I may not want to do any repetitions of any artists that I know I'm going to be talking about very soon. I usually talk about. I have kind of reviewed in the past. Vespertine, I've done a whole Bjork worst to best. I've talked about Vespertine. I love it. It's a great album. It's actually my favorite Bjork album, and it lands at number 1 in my Bjork worst to best. Ooh. You should watch the Bjork worst to best. Because pretty much everything I would say about that album is in there.
We've got Before These Crowded Streets by
Dave Matthews Band.
There you go.
I don't know if I would be able to speak to that album positively. And would that even be the album? I feel like it would be Crash if you were going to do a Dave Matthews Band.
Yeah, go a little more fun. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean that's kind of the record most people know.
Oh, for sure.
There's also Have a Nice Life. Which, I mean, that's kind of an album in classic internet infamy at this point.
Yeah.
Which, do you have a nice life feelings?
No.
I've been thinking about it. I feel like this might be the year that I have
tackle
to
that one.
Tackle that one.
Oh my god. Oh, have you done Melancholy?
And the Infinite Sadness? Yeah, I have not.
That might not be. That's a long one, but it might not be bad.
I haven't, and I don't think, have I done a Siamese Dream classic review? I don't think so.
You're at the period where it's impossible to remember every video you've done.
I know. I have to like double check. It's funny because if you tell me any random like new album I've reviewed, or if you show me the cover, most definitely, like I could tell you pretty quickly, like if I reviewed it and what the score is, but I cannot for the fucking life of me remember what albums I've classic reviewed.
No, it's hard.
I really have no, like, I'm really at a loss sometimes.
Yeah, last 15 years, no problem.
I don't know if I'd be able to speak to Norma Jean as positively as some of you guys may want me to. They were even hot when we were in college.
They were huge back then.
Yeah. The ODB's first album could be fun, but I have talked a lot about Wu-Tang. So in fact, I think I have a Wu-Tang solo project, like kind of tier list thing on the Fantano channel. And I think I've talked about that project. I, Jonathan by Jonathan Richman would be really fun though. I think that would be a very specific personal fave. I don't know if a lot of people would be as crazy about that one.
It was cool.
I wouldn't consider I'm Wide Awake It's Morning a classic. I kind of agree. I would also consider it to be a classic record. I would consider that to be a classic record.
I saw one come through for The Stranger, Billy Joel.
I do love that album. It has one of my favorite of his songs on the Antony song, Moving Out. I love that song on there.
Title track.
It's fantastic.
For Your Life. The Marshall Mathers LP.
The Marshall Mathers LP.
Yeah, the first one.
I think I did that. I did an Eminem tier list too.
Okay.
Which I know I've covered that in, and I've talked about the Marshall Mathers LP too as well in the LP2 sequel review.
Oh, that's true.
Mahavishnu Intermounting Flame. I would love to review that.
Ooh.
I actually love the fuck out of that album. It's one of my favorite jazz rock albums of all time, and I feel like some of you guys really need like a jazz rock education with how many times you mention Steely Dan. Like I feel like whenever the jazz rock conversation comes up, it's always like, oh yeah, Steely Dan. It's like, no,
I've heard Asia for the first time.
No, Zappa, Mahavishnu Orchestra,
Bitches Brew.
Bitches fucking brew.
Put that one on. It'll blow your mind.
Which I have done a classic review of that.
Yeah, that's a great album. It's a weird album.
Let's see. Tool, Pink Floyd, Lil B. Yeah, Lil B. Typo Negative. The Cozart by Chief Keef. These are interesting suggestions.
Classic Britney, like Blackout or In the Zone.
Maybe Blackout.
That'd be kind of cool.
You know, the Y2K pop is hot right now.
It is.
It's very hot. It's very relevant at the moment.
Oh, Kimono My House by Sparks. That's a great one.
Yeah, Sparks would be a fun one.
I've done that album myself, actually.
Stereo Lab is a good suggestion. Thank you. Pedro Speeder.
I've got Apostrophe by Frank Zappa. That's a... It's a wild
Have I
ride.
done a Zappa classic review before? I think I may have.
I was just looking at your list the other day, and I can't remember most of what was on there.
Hold on a second. Oh no, I've done a Hot Rats.
Ooh, what's a good
hot.
one?
I did hot.
That's a fun one.
Hot Rats.
Vampire Weekend's Contra.
Or no, no, it was Hot Rats. Yeah.
Yeah, Frank.
A
lot of Zappa coming through
here. Yeah, Billy Joel, like you said. Oh yeah, Jizz's Liquid Swords.
Yeah.
Which again, I think I did let me double check here. Wu-Tang tier list. I did a Wu-Tang member tier list. Okay. I did a video like 6 years ago, my favorite Wu-Tang solo albums.
Cool.
I know I did a video talking about a lot of those records. And, you know, Supreme Clientele, I talk about Raekwon's stuff in there, ODB stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Cake Fashion Nugget would be interesting.
That would be interesting.
The Colon concert, Keith Jarrett, I've never heard that record. Okay. I'll actually just need to look at that up for personal reasons.
Sweetheart of the Rodeo by the Birds.
I'd like to hear you talk about Scott Walker more. Scott Walker could be an interesting.
Yeah, that could be cool. Ooh, Kick Out the Jams. Have you done that one?
No, I have not.
It'd be a fun one.
Let's see.
He just did a Rush one on Patreon a while ago.
Yeah, like a live stream.
Was that Moving Pictures?
Yeah, I think it was Moving Pictures.
Yeah.
And we listened to some other Rush records too.
That's
We
right.
also did an Alice in Chains live stream too.
Oh, cool.
The Cure could be interesting, though I did just review them, but you know, still it could be interesting.
Oh, The Who.
The Who, yeah, no,
Yeah.
The Who could be.
You haven't dabbled with
Interesting.
too much Who.
Can we get some? Okay, hold on a second. I'm gonna write Massive Attack. And guys, can we suggest some ladies? Can we suggest some ladies? You know, as much as I do love Björk and I have covered her music extensively, is a Joanna Newsom review in order this year? Is a Laurie Anderson review in order this year?
Nina
Erykah
Simone.
Badu in order this year, I would like to know. Wire Pink Flag, it would be fun to kind of go back and re-review that since it was one of my first classic reviews and I had to get rid of the review.
Yeah, that's right. It's an old one.
Let me see.
But Susie the Banshees.
Yeah. No, that's also
Yeah, Alice Coltrane. Sure.
have I swear I've talked about that her first record extensively at some point.
Oh,
Keep marking down the suggestions.
Yeah, I'm writing them all down.
No, I have done an Alice Coltrane classic review 3 years ago.
It's the one of her sitting on the cover, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I have reviewed that one. I mean, if you are looking for the Fantano Alice Coltrane classic review, it's happened.
It's done.
Wish
granted.
I've actually not heard Live Rope by Swans. That's something I should probably take the time to do. Also, I'm very much looking forward to hearing that next quote unquote final big album they've done. PJ Harvey is a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
I know I have made hold on, let me I think I made plans for one of her records last year and it fell through.
Amy Winehouse. You could do Frank. That's 20 years ago.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, I didn't actually end up going through with that PJ Harvey classic review.
Oh, Plasmatics.
Plasmatics?
That'd be interesting.
Thank you guys for keeping the suggestions coming. Thanks for showing me the Common is Light, Sun Kill Moon. I love that. Yeah, that's a great record.
Airs Moon Safari.
A lot of MJ suggestions, frickin' Off the Wall. I have often defended Off the Wall, especially as being like a better album than Thriller.
I love Off the Wall.
Jackson,
It's the falling in love.
Fantano review. If I haven't done a classic review, I did a Thriller review.
I think you did Off the Wall.
I did do a Thriller review. I didn't do Off the Wall.
Oh, okay.
I did a Thriller review, and then I also did another video where I was talking about Thriller not being a 10, which had a lot of people pissed off.
Just because it sells a lot doesn't make it a 10.
And and I've also done a Janet Jackson Velvet Rope
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
review, classic review, because that album's so great.
What about like Aretha Franklin? Like I Never Loved a Man. That's a great album.
Yeah, we might need to double up on Classics Week.
Damn.
Do an extended Classics Week.
It'd be fun.
Really fun it up this
Really
fucking
fun up those
Classics Week.
classics.
I think this past Classic Week I kind of extended it by a few days, and I got some good extra fat suggestions in there.
Yeah. It's worth it.
Maybe especially with your help, because you're going to be doing a Classics review too, we can maybe go a little bit longer.
I could do another one.
Metacritic.
Bring them on.
Album releases. When are the big releases coming out? I do want to. Again, I don't want to push back the reviews. On the 17th of January, that's when the Mac Miller's coming out.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And Ethel Cain is January 8th.
It's the 8th. Okay.
I do want to review Miss Ethel Cain's record.
Absolutely.
Ethel Cain.
Ooh, Red Hot Chili Peppers. Blood Sugar Sex Magic.
Let me see. This is probably Boop. Maybe Boom, Bam, and on the 17th again, Franz Ferdinand. That's when they're coming out. And the 10th is when Franz Ferd. That's going to be dropping on the 10th again.
Ringo comes out on the 11th, I believe.
Oh yeah, well Ringo.
Ringo's country album.
We got to do Ringo, and Mac Miller is having his posthumous record.
That's cool.
Drop on the 17th.
Oh, Paul's Boutique. That'd be a good one.
Which one?
Paul's Boutique.
Oh, okay.
That'd be a great one.
I think I've done a Beastie Boys worst to best though.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Worst to best, or a tier list. I can't remember which one. Yeah, I did a Beastie Boys tier list.
Tier list, okay.
Of all their records over on the Fantano channel. Paul's Boutique is amazing though.
That's one of their best albums.
So I have talked somewhat extensively about Paul's Boutique. Also, the very highly underrated Hello Nasty, which I think is a bit of a bloated album, but still an amazing album. There are few albums that I think have production as dope as that record.
It's a great record.
And the Weather Station is also dropping an album on the 17th too. The Weather Station. So, I mean, I think we could get a nice classics review going, obviously, this coming week. And, hold on a second. Keep writing down. Keep noting.
We got Birds, Sweetheart of the Rodeo, great album. Missy Elliott, Under Construction or Super Duper Fly.
Missy Elliott, yeah.
Very cool. Lust for Life by Iggy Pop.
Okay.
Yeah. Mandrill.
Okay, so I think we can, again, get a classics week going, and extend it a couple days into the following week, like the 13th and the 14th, probably.
Yeah,
but then rules. At some point, I do have to kind of review the SZA, review the Ethel Cain,
the new stuff.
I'll check and see if I'm super into the Franz Ferdinand. If yes, if no, then we can kind of extend classic review another day.
Sweet.
We'll keep making suggestions.
At the drive-in, Relationship of Command.
At the drive-in.
That'd be
interesting.
Okay.
We'll write it down. At the drive-in. Hold on, looking here at some of the suggestions so far. Are there any records that anybody is super crazy about in terms of like a jazz classic that you feel like we should cover? I do like covering like a jazz classic every year.
Someone mentioned Shape of Jazz to Come by Ornette Coleman before.
That'd be crazy.
I love that album.
That'd be insane.
That was one of the first jazz albums I ever bought on vinyl. Was that record.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was one of the first ones on vinyl I ever bought.
You're really stepping into it boldly.
I mean, if you're gonna go jazz, Ornette Coleman's one of the ways.
You're stepping into it with a purpose.
Absolutely. Do it right. If you can put some good jazz on.
I do like Drive Like Yehu. I love that record.
Okay,
Yank
yeah.
Crime is amazing. I don't like. I'll think about it. Ram, Paul McCartney.
Dude, one of the best.
69 love songs. 69 love songs would be quirky.
A minute per song, I think, would be a great.
I just did I just got it on vinyl for the first time this past year and talked about it in a vinyl update and sort of was listening to it in preparation for the vinyl update. It is an interesting project still to this day.
It's a long album.
I even sort of like catch influence coming onto like the Joanna Wong album that I loved recently, where it's like just such a quirky sort of combination of so many different things kind of coming together, and different storylines and song styles. Pharaoh by Pharaoh Sanders could be interesting.
Mm-hmm. Giant Steps by Coltrane. Sure. We did a Love Supreme at one point.
Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, I've done a Coltrane classic review at some point.
Marquee Moon by Television. That sounds. You may have done that too.
Hold on. Let me double check that. I think
that's a good one to do.
Television. I may have done that one. A Television classic review. This sounds like something I would do.
It does. College Anthony would have done that one.
Fantano. Have I? I'm not seeing it here. Have I seriously not done a television review?
Whoa.
Television. Fantano.
That's wild.
Needle drop. Am I really fucking up that badly? Am I really losing the plot?
That might be one to do
terribly?
then.
I have not reviewed that album.
Damn.
I've not reviewed Television's Marquee Moon,
Holy
strangely. Marquee.
Come Away With Me, Norah Jones.
Okay.
It's a classic now. It's 20 years old.
It's classic at this point.
Unbelievable.
I haven't done John Coltrane. Let me double check.
I swear you did Love Supreme.
Coltrane.
Love Supreme.
Fantano. Yeah, this guy might be correct as well. I don't think I've done Coltrane.
Really? I guess it was just the Alice Coltrane record then.
Yeah, maybe.
Jeez. Erykah Badu?
Yeah, I've written her down.
That'd be okay. Cool.
That's a possibility.
Yeah, that's cool.
Excuse me.
Dismemberment Plan.
All right. Let's see. You mentioned Marquee Moon on a These Albums Are Tens video on the Fantano channel. There you go. That's when I talked about it.
Deep cut.
Because I know I've talked about it. So, see, I've come out with so much fucking content.
It's true. You are the internet.
I am the internet. The thing is, like, it's so difficult to sort of categorize all of it and make sure I'm like following all of it. Little Brother, Minstrel Show. It is a hip hop classic. I don't know. There are probably some other records that like are in that field that are kind of calling my name a bit more loudly. Gil Scott Heron would definitely be interesting. That'd be a big
one. Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be a big one.
I wrote down the Kinks of the Village Green Preservation Society. That'd be a good one too.
Oh, okay. I have that on. I thought I had it over here.
I think you do.
I do have it on vinyl.
Yeah, I love that album.
The Kinks. Alice in Chains.
Ooh, Midnight Vultures by Beck. That's a fun one.
That could be an interesting one. I think I'd just be fully corny and just go Odelay, honestly. Like
you'd probably get more views, honestly.
I feel like it's such a it's so of the era.
Yeah.
You know. I don't believe I've covered Sonic Youth. I really haven't covered that much Sonic Youth, and I probably should do a classic. And I've never really made it a point to cover a lot of their, sort of much newer stuff. So maybe kind of going back and doing Goo
I love
or
that
Sister
one.
could be good. White Pony says vegan sports bar. I love the idea of a vegan sports bar.
Hey, you never know.
Boy in the Corner, some UK representation. Dizzy Rascal.
Someone said Dookie or Enema of the State. Some 90s
I'd rather do Dookie.
punk. Yeah.
If I do and maybe I'll finally have the Green Day stands on my good side. You know. Let me see over here. Green Day Fantano. Have I done a Green Day tier list? I may have. Okay, I have. Okay, so I did a tier list on the Fantano channel that says I listen to every Green Day album. And I know Dookie is at the top.
That's a great name.
I listen to every Green Day album.
Proud of you, buddy.
It was an undertaking.
You got through the trilogy?
I got through the trilogy, which I will say to this day, I think a great album is in the trilogy somewhere.
One album though.
One album.
Yeah, absolutely.
One great album is in the trilogy.
Absolutely.
You just really have to whittle it down.
Oh, love.
If you whittled it down to the best of the best, you have like an album that is on par with anything from their 90s era, but it's lost in the sauce.
It's too much information on 3 albums.
It's
man.
lost.
Ooh, Eric B. and Rakim is a deep cut.
Eric B. and Rakim. Oh, that would be actually
That'd be pretty cool.
really sick.
Yeah, I'll write that one down.
Eric B. and Rakim would be sick. Let's see. Sex Pistols. Never mind the ball. just for the fun of it, actually, like, it would be really fun to classic review that album, just to roast it and just be like,
this album truly sucks.
This is fucking classic. It's influential, but also it's not that great in retrospect. So, like, it could be better.
All these awful people working together.
There are more interesting punk albums that were released at the time,
more.
and Sid Vicious was a piece of shit.
Absolutely. I've never understood the praise he gets for being like this idol. Like, he was an absolute piece of garbage.
Right, exactly.
God.
Isley Brothers.
Ooh.
That's some taste right there.
Ooh, Back in Black.
Ooh.
You go real.
Going dad rock there.
Real classic dad rock.
We're gonna get the dads watching.
Back in Black.
We're gonna get the highly sought after Rick Beato demographic.
You're gonna get the comments who are like, I don't need to review this. I just put it on and enjoy it.
Yeah.
My favorite comment to get. Oh, songs from the Big Chair, Tears for Fears. That could be good. That's a good album. Fears for Tears.
Fears for Tears.
Bad Hair Dye by Weird Al.
That actually was one of my favorite albums as a kid.
Yeah, that was a
like,
good one, man.
I beat that tape to death. I fucking beat that tape to death.
So good, man.
I played that tape so much it was warped, and Weird Al's voice, weird ass voice, already sounded weirder. Just sounded even stranger.
That Amish Paradise was that one, right?
Yes. Mort Garson, Mother Earth's Plantasia.
Oh,
That's a fun little novelty.
Only if you're a plant.
Yeah. Only if I'm a plant. Maybe I can have a plant review it.
Ooh, that'd be a funny video.
Yeah.
It can make a smoothie at the same time.
Yeah. Yes.
Plant smoothie.
Let's see.
Oh, okay, computer.
Did I listen to Lonely Sinner? I have not finished Lonely Sinner. I didn't really. I wasn't really super compelled by it, honestly. It was not my album of the year. I just wasn't really that into it. Brian Eno, I suppose at some point maybe. There's lots of certainly great works to reference there, whether you're talking about the ambient era, pre-ambient era, or even his initial solo records that are a bit weird and glammy and experimental, Tiger Mountain, so on and so forth. Which I love those records personally. Stooges' Raw Power, I think, was one of my earliest classic reviews, but I also had to get rid of it. I do think that album kicks ass.
It's a great album.
Yeah.
Punk's Grandpa.
Relapse. I don't know about Relapse. TBH. Pavement, Slanted and Enchanted.
Yeah.
Classic indie. Pavement, I'll write it down.
We'll go cut our hair first.
By the Unicorns? Or you're talking about the pavement
joke.
thing.
But that would be good. Have you done that one yet?
No, I think I may have, honestly. LCD Sound System, Sound of Silver. That would just like be a personal favorite that I'd throw in there.
I feel like there was a while there where the Unicorns were like the hottest indie thing to talk about, and I feel like they've been completely forgotten about in the last 10 years or so.
I mean, that's hold hold on a second. What did Weezer Blue album? Have I? I've talked so much about that album.
You've done
And so much about Weezer.
You've done tier lists on them.
Unicorn
Or worst to best.
Fantano. Yeah, I actually don't think I've done a formal Unicorns review.
Damn, I'll write it down.
As much as I love that album.
That was big when we were in school.
It was. But yeah, I mean, I feel like, you know, that sort of thing will happen when you just sort of like kill your band the moment that your album comes out of the gate. You know? Like,
Neutral Milk Hotel.
Of course. Oh, I've reviewed Neutral Milk Hotel.
Oh,
I mean, you're referencing them.
Yeah,
sorry.
I was making a reference, but that's one of your biggest videos.
Yeah.
I did get to pick, actually. I'm doing one myself. Thank you.
Yeah. Giggins is going to be doing one as well. Physical Graffiti, I have talked about extensively, and Led Zeppelin's catalog generally in a tier list on the Fantano channel. And Physical Graffiti is a top tier Zeppelin album to me. One of their best, if not their best. Let's see. Grace Jones would be interesting.
Yeah. The Jam.
The Jam.
They do sound effects.
We're going underground.
Down in the tube station at midnight. Don't want to go.
Get the mods going crazy in the fucking
Get the
comments.
mods all riled up.
I did write down Erykah Badu. Someone said Sepultura. It would be interesting. Shout out to Brazil. Dillinger Escape Plan. Screamadelica. It is right next to me. Primal Scream. You guys do see it enough. Over next to my head.
There's a lot of people for Bird's Sweetheart of the Rodeo. That's been requested a lot.
Really?
Yeah. Wow.
Can. Have I done a Can classic review? I think I have a Dumb Bamyasi. The Needle Drop. Let me see. Fantano, Can. Fantano, Can. Review. Have I done... When did I talk about Can? Haven't I reviewed Can?
That sounds familiar.
You know what it might have been? I think I just did a classic album live stream for the patrons.
Oh, that could be.
That's what it is. We did a Can classic album live stream, so I'll write down Can.
Can's going in.
Can could be an interesting one. The fuck are we gonna do? Maybe we need to write down some of these names and pull them from a hat. I think it's honestly probably like one of the best ways.
This is a month's worth of reviews right here.
No, it's true. Classic review of Young, Gifted, and Black. Which album is that? I have a compilation with that name on it, but that's an album title too. Sorry if I'm out of sorts here.
You've done some Jay Dilla before, I think.
I did a classic review of Donuts back in the day, but I think it's a review I had to delete because it had clips in it.
Oh, okay.
Which is ironic considering it's a fucking album full of samples.
Exactly. Irony.
The difference. The
Oh,
name of the game is
Slater Kenny.
Lightworks.
Dig Me Out.
What'd you say?
Slater Kenny's Dig Me Out or
Okay,
Hot Rock.
okay.
Or they said The Woods. You've done The Woods.
Let me see.
Ooh, Evil Empire, Rage Against the Machine.
I think I've done a Rage tier list. I'm pretty sure.
And I think you've done one of their albums too for that.
Rage Against the Machine.
Genesis.
Review.
Gabriel Genesis or Collins Genesis?
Yeah, I've done a Rage Against the Machine tier list.
Oh, okay.
And I do love the fuck out of Evil Empire. That is my favorite Rage album.
That's a classic.
Oh, okay. Is Aretha Franklin? Thank you. Yeah, there's a really great Trojan Records compilation called Young, Gifted, and Black that again obviously same title, where it pretty much goes over like the earliest years of Jamaican ska, and it's a fire compilation.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a really cool compilation. Highly recommend it to anybody who's like looking to understand or get into ska outside of like,
Real
I
Big
mean,
Fish.
most people here are probably like familiar with the third wave, the pop punk ska wave, which is cool.
The Tony Hawk's Pro Skater ska wave.
And, to an extent, like the Specials, I'm sure you guys are aware of like the second wave in the UK. But the OG wave, the OG Jamaican wave, Trojan Records, Young, Gifted, and Black is a really great compilation. Excuse me.
Have you done Doolittle by Pixies?
I don't. Let me double check.
Or Prodigy?
Ooh, Prodigy would be fun.
Fat of the Land by Prodigy?
Pixies. The Needle Drop. No, I don't think I've done that Doolittle record.
That might be cool.
Pixies, Prodigy. You got a lot to go through.
Yeah, I've written down like 1,000 things.
All right, let me see here. Woof, 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 woof. Writing it down, writing it down, writing it down. Marking it down, marking it down, marking it down.
Blood on the tracks. Yeah, more Dylan keeps coming up.
Yeah, a lot of people are Dylan curious, I think, probably because the movie's out.
Gobbin' on the Bob.
Ooh, Talib and Mos Def Black Star. Could be fun.
Yeah, Mos Def would be cool, yeah.
Excuse me.
The River by Bruce Springsteen.
The Boss.
As long as it's not Nebraska, where we all feel sad about ourselves.
Morbid Angel. That's right. We do kind of need we got to think about a metal album.
Some heavy stuff. Yeah, true.
Morbid Angel could be a nice touch. I was just listening to I've been funnily enough I've been working my way. I was on a long drive and I was working my way through the Napalm Death discography.
That's driving music right there.
It's some driving music, man. Damn. Like honestly, I think that second album is so good.
Damn.
Second album is so fucking good. It really is like a great album. Death Symbolic. No, it could be fun. I think I've done I've talked about that record a little bit. Merzbow, yeah. I don't know about Merzbow this year.
No.
But we'll have to see. Maybe a conceptual review where it's just like nothing but white noise while I'm talking over it for like 10 minutes.
Daniel Johnston came up before.
Daniel Johnston.
He could be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Back to Black, Amy Winehouse. That keeps popping up. I'll write that one down.
It does. All right, Cryptopsy. Let's see. Ice Spice. Oh, Ice Spice Classic Review.
Classic Review.
Yeah, for Ice Spice.
Feels like just yesterday it came out.
Shoo Shoo, Fabulous Muscles. There are a lot of older Shoo Shoo albums in there. Oh, Pig Destroyer would be a sick classic. Holy Diver. Holy Diver.
That'd be a good one. Some old school Dio.
Yeah, I mean, again, Pig Destroyer could be really fun. I feel like I really want to... Hold on a second. Let me just make sure. Pig Destroyer.
We don't have enough swords to do a Dio review.
Enough swords.
We need more swords.
Yeah, but I have reviewed a little Pig Destroyer in the past. I don't know. Morbid Angel. I'll consider either or. There. Black Sabbath. I know I've reviewed some of their stuff classic-wise in the past. Clips, Lord Willin' could be fun. I think I have talked about them extensively, though.
Have you done Nevermind?
And I'm pretty sure I've done In Utero.
Oh, okay.
I've done In Utero.
Okay.
And talked about Nevermind quite a bit in the context of that record. Nothing Happens by the Wallows. We need some classic suggestions here. The Wallows are quite a contemporary band. Disintegration Loops could be interesting. I don't know. We'd have to see.
Mariah Carey's Butterfly.
Gojira. Oh, Mariah Carey's Butterfly. Although I feel like if I was going to do Mariah, I'm kind of losing my sense of the catalog. I'd probably do the album before that with Fantasy on it.
You should do Glitter. It's been a long time. I think Glitter should have a reevaluation.
No, it'd be Daydream. I'd want to do Daydream.
That'd be a good one.
With it's got Fantasy and Always Be My Baby on it.
Always be my baby.
And One Sweet Day with Boys to Men.
Well, dude, we couldn't escape that song in the 90s. Ugh. Oh, Bat Out of Hell. That'd be a good one.
God, it's so dramatic.
Like a bat out of hell, I'll be gone.
R.I.P. Meatloaf.
I know. R.I.P. Loaf.
R.I.P. to the loaf. That's what they call them.
The Loaf.
Rumors from Fleetwood Mac. Have I not done a Fleetwood Mac classic review?
I don't know.
I'm gaslighting myself again. Mac review. Let me see over here.
Someone said the Beach Boys. What album was it? You went by too fast.
Oh, you know Giggins is going to have that on lock.
Yeah, don't worry.
Don't worry about that. No, I guess I haven't really done a friggin' Fleetwood Mac
Rumors could be good.
classic review.
Everyone knows that one.
Let me see over here.
Primus.
Johnny was a race car driver. Went so goddamn fast.
Goddamn fast.
Man, I used to have all their albums back in the day.
You're a
I was
bass player.
obsessed.
That's why.
Yeah, I know. That's terrible. Too many puppies. It's like I can't unhear the fact that like back in the day somebody like drew the point of comparison that like the first song on the first Korn album, Blind, just rips that song off. Like the whole intro. Yeah.
I'll have to check that out.
And then I couldn't unhear it after that. It's like, holy shit, it does. Like,
that's
fucking
funny.
Primus invented nu metal. Venetian Snares would be a pretty ballsy electronic pick. Todd Rundgren, something, anything, literally anything he's done.
That's a good album. Hello, it's me. Check out the Naz. If you like Todd Rundgren, go back in time.
Don Cab. No one has done math rock since. A crazy math rock record from that era. I think I'd rather do like Hella or something. I think some of those Hella albums have aged pretty interestingly.
Or an early Interpol album.
Sure. Have I done Turn on the Bright Lights?
That'd be a good one. That's got to be 20 years old by now.
Oh, definitely.
Also terrifying to say that. Kendrick Lamar is a fairly new artist, guys.
Yeah, Kendrick Lamar classic review. I think Kendrick is new.
We're thinking.
Plus, I think I've reviewed everything he's ever done.
This is true since day one. Yeah, 20 years ago or so, like 2005 and before.
I think I also remember. You know what? I know I've talked about Turn on the Bright Lights before. You know what it was? There was like a Pitchfork article that they did where they were talking about albums that they overrated or underrated, and by their own assessment, they said they overrated Turn on the Bright Lights.
Interesting.
And yeah, it's kind of an interesting article. I wish they would do sort of like another article like that again. It could be cool.
That would be cool.
Let's see.
Oh, the Minutemen.
The Minutemen would be quirky.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a quirky one. Gao the Arsonist. I've not heard of this person. Jeff Buckley's Grace. A lot of Jeff Buckley coming up.
Yeah, a lot of Jeff Buckley. Neil Diamond.
Neil Diamond.
Just some early 60s or early 70s Neil.
Jeff Buckley does always come up. Maybe it's worth maybe it's time. Maybe it's Jeff Buckley time.
De La Soul, 3 Feet High and Rising.
I know I've done a De La Soul sort of tier list or retrospective because they had the whole like catalog come out.
There's reissues a few years ago.
Yeah. De La Soul.
That'd be cool.
Fantano. Yeah, I did a whole De La Soul tier list.
Okay.
Where I've talked about the whole catalog extensively.
Oh, Belle and Sebastian.
Belle and Sebastian would be quirky.
Maybe nice. Tiger Milk or If You're Feeling Sinister.
Yeah, I love If You're Feeling Sinister.
That's probably my favorite album by
The
them.
Fox in the Snow. Where do you go when you're needing something new?
Name it Judy and the Dream of Horses. I don't know why I was singing like a South Park character there, but there you go.
That's not a diss. It's very cute.
I love Belle and Sebastian. His book comes out this year.
Oh, really?
Stewart's book, yeah.
Okay. Gentle Giant, Octopus. I don't think I've dug into that record. I have heard some Gentle Giant albums when I had a bit of a prog phase, but I don't think I've heard that album personally. Real Big Fish, I Hate God, Neil Young Harvest. Some very interesting Neil Young content is going to be coming out very soon on the channel. Maybe not a classic review, but you keep an eye out. Keep an ear out. There's going to be some Neil Young stuff happening. Okay? So keep a lookout.
Keep rocking in the free world.
Keep rocking in the free world. Do. And you will be...
We should get him on the show.
We will be handsomely rewarded.
Let's get Nardwar on the show.
Yeah, getting Nardwar on here.
We'll interview him.
A riot.
Yeah.
Blood Brothers Crimes would be very fun. I think they're on their comeback tour.
They definitely are coming back. They were big.
They have reassembled for some shows.
I think because like people discovered Knock Loose with this newest album, and they're like, "What would influence Knock Loose?"
Really? Are people discovering them through Knocked Loose?
I would think so.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if they're looking for influences, I would say Blood Brothers were an influence to Knock Loose. But that's just my 1.5 cents.
It is such a crazy, unique album.
Oh yeah.
Death Consciousness. I am very much. I'm giving a heavy consideration to Death Consciousness. LCD Sound System. I will think about as much as I praise them and have reviewed them and talked about their catalog extensively. As much as there is to talk about, because I wish there were more records to reference, but
yeah.
Let's see, Rammstein Mutter.
Rammstein.
Now that's a good classic industrial album, along with their breakout record, Senshot.
British Steel, Judas Priest.
Oh yeah. I've reviewed Priest on the channel though. Like their newer records, like Firepower's so fucking good.
I think we wrote down D'Angelo Voodoo.
The Flow album I have not had super strong feelings on, sadly, as much as I did like the many of the singles. We are seeing a lot of people co-signing the Sound of Silver review. Seems like a lot of people would be into that idea. I mean, I suppose there's a possibility it could happen because I just know that album so much like the back of my hand that I could just probably just
wing it.
So I suppose and I usually like to sort of challenge myself with classic reviews that I don't listen to all the time.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Sometimes,
yeah.
But I probably should maybe make it easy on myself at some point a little bit. I do have Joanna Newsom written down as a big possibility. A Yeast review would be very interesting.
Have you done Bowie in a while? Like Low would be kind of cool.
Yeah, no, it could be. There's so many eras to pull from.
Yeah.
Or like Station to Station or whatever.
Yeah.
Spiritualized could be fun. That's kind of a big fish right there. Got a lot of big names here. A lot of big names.
History by Michael Jackson. It's basically half its greatest hits.
Yeah.
Exile in Guyville. Liz Phair.
I'm not as crazy about that album, unfortunately.
I haven't heard it.
I know there are a lot of people who are, but I'm not as sold on it, unfortunately.
Ooh,
right.
Electric Warrior T-Rex.
That's a classic if there ever was one.
Telegram Sam.
Also, with the long legs references and everything could be interesting. Have you seen that movie yet?
No, it's on my list.
Yeah, he's like a little weirdly obsessed with like rock music of that era. He's like kind of obsessed with
glam rock,
the visual aesthetics of that, and Lou Reed's Transformer.
That's a good one.
Yeah, so it's kind of an interesting,
cool.
weird musical tie-in, and everything. Just don't pick an album so you can farm donations. I am picking albums here. Could you possibly talk about For the World to See by Death? I am going to try to not the heavy metal group. Oh no. I'm trying to remember. I am familiar with that record. I own a copy of it. I think it could be fun to talk about at some point. There's I believe what it was when it dropped, I was running a music blog and I ended up doing like a music review. I ended up doing a review of the album, but it was like written at the time. It is a short, fun little album and a very like kind of cool proto-punk release.
I remember when that came out. It was like it was written in like orange
Yeah, no,
on the cover. It was like an all black
and
cover.
it's like kind of a purple outline.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
It is a very cool record though, and you know, it was an interesting part of the internet era where I feel like a lot of record promoter people and labels kind of realize like, hey, we can like sort of remarket these weird lost gem albums like to the internet and people will fuck with them.
Rodriguez.
Devo could be interesting. I'm pretty sure I've done some Devo classic stuff though, like their first album. Again, I am sort of heavily considering Have a Nice Life, especially based off of the excitement behind Such a Thing here. Maybe some old Jeff Rosenstock. I don't know. I have reviewed Jeff quite a few times and have interviewed him quite a few times as well. I feel we've given Jeff a lot of shine. Hyper Magic Mountain could be crazy. I remember I used to listen to that album so often in college, I'd give myself a headache. Yeah, I give myself migraines listening to Lightning Bolt. I really, truly would.
That's amazing.
And I would fully know that I was doing that to myself, and I'd be like, I don't care.
Feels good.
This is so fun.
It's rock and roll, man.
It really is. They did some shows recently that I'm pissed off that I didn't make it.
I know they were still a band.
Yeah, they're still performing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know if they're
Lightning
doing
Bolt.
much new stuff right now, but they're still performing.
Good for Lightning Bolt.
Disintegration by The Cure. I'll write down The Cure.
Yeah.
I'll write it down.
The classic by AJ and Big Justice.
Oh yeah. No, for sure, of course. I don't think I told you or told anybody. Hold on a second. Here, okay. I could tell you guys this. I could tell you guys this. Alec, who edits all of the fucking short form content and does a lot of my TikTok stuff and so on and so forth. He got me a special Christmas gift that is unlike any other that I received from anybody this year. Here it is. I'll turn it up so Giggins can hear it as well.
Oh, I've heard
Anthony,
it.
it's AJ. And this message coming to you from Alec. Alec, for sending this message to Anthony, you got a big boom! So, Big Justice, we hear that Anthony is one of our biggest fans, and we're here to wish Anthony a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and bring the boom! Big Justice. Yeah! How many booms does Anthony get on the boom meter?
5 big booms!
5!
Boom! 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 Now let's do a quick little dance here for Anthony. We bring the boom! That's what we do. We bring the boom! We bring the boom! Still bringing it. Still bringing it. Anthony, thank you so much for loving our channel. We will keep the videos coming your way. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and always bring the boom!
They probably pump out like 30 of those a day.
Yeah, a minute.
And just like, okay, this one's for Jake. Jake! Thanks for being a big fan of our channel.
More
so on
videos
and so
coming.
forth. More videos coming. Thanks for
Yeah.
watching. We bring the boom.
Alec told me about that a while ago, and I was like, oh my God.
Joni Mitchell. Wasn't I talking about Joni recently? What was I talking about Joni? I think I've done I've done a Blue Classic review. I did that last year.
Yeah, like recently. I was earlier.
Yeah, it was last year.
January,
I did
yeah,
a
it was
Blue
last
Classic
year.
review. That was last year. Mr. Robert Marley could for sure be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Have you done an MF Doom?
Oh yeah.
review? I was
Yeah,
gonna say
no,
you've
I've-
probably
I've
done
that.
that.
I've done Mad Villainy, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
At the very least.
Cool.
And
cool.
I'm actually I don't know if it came out just yet. I was just talking about I did a vinyl update and I got a copy of the MF Doom 20th anniversary for Food,
Oh, nice.
and that should be coming out again momentarily.
We can't keep those in stock at the record store. Those
They're so cool.
flying.
They're so fucking cool. Glassworks Philip Glass, that'd be crazy.
You should just review 433 and leave it at that.
Or Glenn Branca.
Yeah.
Those are two big interesting possibilities.
Massive hit songs.
Yeah. Tim Hecker, I reviewed quite a bit of Tim's stuff, and I think, like, honestly, I feel like he's really kind of peaked at Virgins, which is obviously my album of the year, and I've reviewed.
NERD.
Food and Liquor, Tori Amos, NERD in search of
Blondie
Blondie.
could be good.
Could write down Blondie.
Yeah. King Giz. Come on, guys.
King Giz. I've reviewed so much King Giz.
That's like a weekly review.
I know. It's like I review King Giz like a once a year minimum. Here comes King Gizzard with their one review a year at
They're
least.
back with their 79,000th album.
Yeah, I know. It's like we're how many? I feel like this was kind of a light year for King Giz. This past year,
Only 3 came out?
I know I reviewed the Pigs album.
Yeah.
Was there another album?
They did the Flight B174, whatever
Yeah, that
it
was the album that had like the pigs on it and everything.
Oh, yeah. So, okay,
And, like
yeah,
all
yeah.
the pig references.
Yeah. Maybe that was their only one this year.
Yeah, I think they might have just dropped the one.
Ooh, they're taking it slow. Taking
Yeah,
a break.
They're going easy on us.
Damn. There's only so much vinyl to use in the world. So.
I've written down some Flaming Lips. Perubu Modern Dance would definitely be like a big post-punk boner record for me. Decemberists,
Decemberists, yeah, old stuff.
Picaresque is definitely an indie classic. REM.
Oh, yeah.
I've done They Might Be Giants, a classic review. I think I've done Lincoln.
I think so.
Modern Dance. Murder. I love the Perubu vocals. Elvis Costello.
Ooh, yeah, like this year's model or some old school stuff.
Listen, I know this world's killing you. I know you waited for so long, girl. In the wedding cake.
So good. Love you, Elvis.
Monster by Future deserves an anniversary review. Maybe at some point.
Elton John.
Elton John. I have been kind of revisiting Yellow Brick Road, honestly.
That's a good one.
Elton John. Saturday night's all right for fighting. I wonder how many
do,
fights Elton John used to get in back in the day when he was writing that one. He's like, you know what I like as Elton John? Fighting.
Fighting.
I'm always fighting.
Get over here.
I can imagine Elton John in his like big sequin suit punching people out.
He starts punching people up, and he's like, you know what? I'm no longer Elton John. I'm back to Reggie. Delivers like the final blow.
All right. CCR.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like I couldn't do a CCR review without talking about how John Fogerty is faking the funk. I don't think I could honestly do a CCR review without sort of like just addressing him not being born by the bayou.
No, there's no bayou where he's from.
Like there's no fucking bayou.
Not even close to water.
There's no like I'll just have to go, John, what's up with this? There's no bayou by you.
Hey.
What are you doing? Hey, ha, hey.
Were you at least down on the corner?
Right, exactly.
My God.
Were you even in a traveling band?
Were you at least up around the bend? For God's sakes.
Oh my God. All right.
Pretty memeable band right there.
ELO. I need to get my friend Zach up here, who's a great screenwriter and music reviewer himself. He's a huge Jeff Lynne ELO guy.
Oh, that's cool.
And has actually he's listened to their whole catalog and done a whole thing.
That's impressive.
About them, and he's quite the ELO fanatic.
That's rad.
I should have him come up here and do that. The Doors could be fun for the dads. Doors for the dads.
The Streets.
10-hour MGK interview.
No.
I mean, that's not a classic album, but if I were to do that, that would instantly become classic.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I'm trying to remember, but I'm trying to think of like what would the conditions even need to be in order for MGK to agree to be in a room with me for 10 hours and also be in front of a microphone the entire time.
I think let him shred on the guitar for a while.
Yeah.
Just let him go crazy on the guitar.
Silver Jews, possibly.
Femmes.
Behold the Octopus Skull Grid is a crazy ass record. I don't know if it's a classic, but it's definitely like a technical avant-garde death metal sort of pinnacle. You know, it's there's few albums that kind of stand out in that lane as much as that one does.
Damn.
Unwound, any of them. I'll get Annie in here and do that one. I think they're more hype on Unwound than I am usually. All right.
Quadrophenia by The Who. That's come up a couple times.
Yeah, that's come up a couple times.
That's a good one.
All right. I think okay, we've written down so many. I feel like we've hit a bit of an overload. I think Giggins and I are going to kind of reconvene. We're going to look at all these,
Yeah.
go through them, and sort of take down the best ones, and really try to whittle down what seems like the most important to do.
Yeah. Great choices, though. Holy moly.
Yeah, I mean, great choices, a lot of choices. A lot to go through. Again, I'm going to do a bunch of reviews. I'll get Giggins locked in on a review.
Yep. Sign me up.
Classic review is next fucking week. And I'll try to extend it into the following week, too. And we will listen to SZA and Ethel Cain, probably for the New Music Friday coming up.
Woo. We're back.
And I think that's everything I want to get through with you guys right now. You're the best. You're the best. Thank you very much to Giggins for being here and helping me make it through
Thanks, man.
these suggestions, so I'm not missing anything.
This was fun.
Because sometimes it is hard to sort of like get through all the just the inundation of suggestions.
Moves so
but
fast.
we got a lot of suggestions, and I will make my way through. All right. Again, thank you guys for taking the time. Thank you for coming through.
Bye.
Big suggestions, good ideas. We're going to whittle this down and get you hopefully a decent, solid Classics week all together. My voice is dying. I'm going to go get some tea. Thank you again to Giggins for being here. And again, I'm bringing Giggins on full time in 2025. So you're going to be seeing a lot more of him in the coming year.
Yay.
Anything that you want to say to the audience? Anything sexy?
I'm honored to be here. It's probably the sexiest thing I can say. And I'm not going to let you guys down because I love this channel. So let's have some fun.
Okay. All right. Mob Deep. Holy shit. Let me write that down.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
I did have plans on that last year and it kind of fell through. All right. All right. Love you guys. I'll talk to you very soon. Again, vinyl update coming very soon. For today, New Music Friday should be starting up again on the 10th.
Cool.
If it doesn't start on the 10th, it's going to start again on the 17th. But there is an Ethel Cain album dropping next week, so we should be doing a classic. A New Music Friday on that day.
Yeah.
For sure. And just keep an eye out for when Classics Week kicks off on Monday or Sunday. I think that's pretty much everything I have to say for right now. Again, you guys are the best. Love you. Keep an eye out for probably some thoughts on the new Bob Dylan movie.
Ooh.
When I eventually see that. Keep an eye out on the potential Neil Young thing that we have coming.
Mm-hmm.
And I promise you, Giggins is holding my feet to the fire. We're going to make the Pink Floyd Worst to Best happen this year. That is going to happen this year. That is this year. That is 2025. No more Anthony. Giggins is here to help me. No more Anthony Fantano getting bogged down.
It's true.
Okay, I'm going to get shit done this year. 2025 is going to be a productive fucking year.
Making it happen, man.
Okay. All right. See you guys later. Have a good one. Anthony Fantano. Bye. Forever.